This is Zac and Gus,
the podcast.
Oh, hello everybody, and welcome to Zac and Gus. We're back. We're live.
We are
in
back.
The flesh.
It's not a Zac up Gust in case you can see our fleshy faces that contain flesh. And today, I think it's my turn to flip. Neither of us seem entirely sure on that fact. But
That is very true. We've got no absolute clue who flipped last.
Either way, I'm flipping this shitty Android phone. Not talking smack on Android there, by the way. This just happens to be a shitty phone that is Android. Flipping this.
Isn't that the phone that doesn't charge?
It is a phone that I bought specifically when I went to do a clinical trial. I was using this phone as a security camera for Dash so that I could watch her from the hospital because I get anxiety and I want to know that my baby is okay. So I bought this phone, and then 2 weeks later it just decided to stop charging. So I hate it now.
As you want from all phones, just for them to not charge.
Yeah, and it wasn't even like one of those really cheap $20 Android phones, which is like, those ones are ridiculous. It's like, how are you selling a phone for $20? There is slavery involved. This one was $90, and it still broke in 2 weeks, so maybe next time I'll go for the $20 slavery phone. Who knows? But, Zach, which side? Do you want screen up or screen down?
I'll go screen down, thanks, Gus.
Alrighty, and we're gonna flip. It landed on my lap. Does that still count?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, it is screen up. So, hello everyone, and welcome to the Zac and Gus podcast for this week now.
Episode number what, Gus?
It is episode 24. And
good work.
Last week was our first Zac up Gust in case, being a backup just in case, but genius play on words that I came up with. Zac up Gust in case one of us cannot make it to record an episode now. Who was that this week, Zach?
I think the blame is going on me, isn't it, Gus?
Yep, it's definitely on Zach. It's definitely not got anything to do with me whatsoever. So let's
So
stick
it's
to that
definitely
story.
me, and because we're sticking to that story, I had a busy week of sacks. For the audio listeners, that is in air quotes.
Look, I don't like lying to our audience, so we're instead just gonna make it extremely obvious that we're lying and not give
So in
you
case
any
you
other
can't figure it out,
context.
it's extremely obvious that last week it was my fault. Angus was ready to record.
I was so ready. I sent Zach like 15 messages before the podcast, like, I'm ready, the Zoom call's ready, because I'm definitely in control of all of that stuff, and Zach just didn't respond at
And
all.
then, but because I didn't respond, I felt bad, so instead I edited and uploaded the episode that we had as a backup.
And as I am in control of the YouTube, out of spite for Zach not rocking up to the episode, I just didn't put it on YouTube at all. But by the time that this is on YouTube, I will have the Zac up Gust in case on YouTube, because I would be very
Irresponsible.
It would be irresponsible to just leave an episode off the platform. But that's essentially the reason why the Zac up Gust in case got released.
So on my behalf, I'm very sorry for causing it.
You should be. And on
I
my
should have
behalf,
been-
on my behalf, I'm not sorry at all. I have nothing to be sorry for.
But the Zac up Gust in case did pose some issues, Gus. Most notably, the first issue was
Sorry,
what
I've got
happened.
fucking Discord blaring in my ear. I need to mute it somehow.
We are so disproportionately organized that we were meant to start recording an hour ago. We had 2 weeks to record this episode, and it is Friday night.
And this is the first episode that I've ever recorded after work, because I've always been like, oh, if I'm tired from work, it would ruin the quality of the episode. But then I realized that literally everything we do is a mess. So it probably won't affect the quality of the show at all. How do you mute a Discord conversation?
Can you just exit the tab?
No, because it sends me the notification noises when people message, even if I don't have it open.
We'll be back.
We're back, guys, and I learned how to mute a conversation on Discord.
Okay, so we were getting through the tic-tac-toe. I won it. Does it apply to the pre-game games leaderboard, Angus?
I think it does. It'll just throw a curveball in for our regular leaderboard every now and again. If we miss an episode, we don't know who's going to be up or who's going to be down, and that's just how it will be. I mean, that's what I think. I mean, this has to be what's it called?
A consensus?
Yeah,
I think
we both have to agree on it, essentially. So do you agree that that's a good idea, Zach?
I agree because I get a point out of it, so there's no reason for me to complain about it.
That is very, very true. Okay.
I had one more issue with the Zac and Gus case that I'd like to bring up.
Sure thing.
If you listen to it the whole way through, you will have noticed how fucking shit it was.
I disagree. I think it was a great one. I actually listened to it. I genuinely, I listened to like at least 3/4 of it, and I was like, oh, these boys are pretty funny, eh?
It was shit. We seriously need your ideas. The backup episodes we usually record quite close to a regular episode, so we can't organize content for it. We just do shit like that. So we want your ideas.
Zach's
please.
idea for the next one was to play the higher-lower game.
Oh, no. We're not telling them that.
Well, no, we should tell them, because maybe they'll be like, nah, that's shit, and come up with a better idea, and we won't do that.
Okay, fine. Yep, fine.
So if you think we should play the higher-lower game, which if you don't know is just where you get sent two Google searches, and you have to decide which one has been searched more than the other one.
So if you want to hear us talking about that for 40 straight minutes... Don't complain. But if you're like, I don't want to hear that, but I still want to get my weekly dose of Gus and Zach,
give us a better idea.
Thank you, please. But we've been discussing the Zac and Gus case for 8 whole minutes now. We need to put that out of our system. Forget it ever happened, Gus. Let's move on.
Now, I'd say the biggest disappointment of last week for all of our listeners was the fact that they could not hear the biggest podcasters in the game deciding whether or not the Big Mac or the Big Jack is better. And I
didn't realize Hamish and Andy did that.
I say that in jest because literally everyone has done this now. But I'm gonna play the opener, which hasn't been recorded. So essentially, I'm gonna be acting out this opener live. Let's go.
Okay.
2 companies at war over some burgers, and one podcast host's stomach is rumbling. So hard, in fact, that he ate the burgers he bought for this segment. But it's all good, because he was very drunk and doesn't remember what either of them tasted like. Anyway, this opener is getting way too long. Now, presenting Big Mac vs. Big Jack.
So the entire promise of you waiting 1 week, which is now 2 weeks, to eat these burgers has fallen down the drain because you drunkenly ate both of them.
I got drunk, and it wasn't even that I didn't have food in my house. It was that I couldn't be flipped cooking it, and they were there in the fridge. And to make matters worse, it was not an enjoyable experience. The only thing I remember is that if you put things in a certain location in my fridge, they literally just freeze. I ate a frozen Big Mac.
Oh, God. So you ruined this entire... Do you have them with you right now?
I do. So this is the Big Mac and the Big Jack. I've gotten my dad to put them in different bowls, so I do not know which one is which. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm going to taste test both of them. And then I'm going to decide which one is better. And but I'm also going to guess. So in the moment, I'll guess, and then afterwards, I will give you my verdict on which one is the better burger.
Riveting content this is, I must say.
riveting content that I definitely haven't seen from 20 other sources in the
Oh,
past week.
100%. Like, if we managed to record ours on time, it still wouldn't have come out in time for a billion other media platforms to do the exact same thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess I should have expected it. But when I heard the news about the Big Jack, I thought, oh, this is cool original content. Bleep. I was wrong. Of course, everyone is going to jump on that.
You can think cool, it's original content, but everyone else is going to think cool, it's original content as well.
Yeah, and it is original content because I didn't copy anyone else doing this. It's just it was such a boring idea that everyone else did it. Anyway, now closing my eyes. My eyes are closed, and I'm going to be picking up the first burger.
This could end horribly. He's picking it up. He's holding it.
Feeling of the burger, I'm already calling that this is the Big Jack. It just does not feel like a Macca's bun. That being said, I'm going to go in for a taste test.
He's taking a bit of a bite. Lettuce has fallen out.
Oh yeah, I think it fell on my dick.
More dick-related content coming up later in the podcast. And that's not clickbait. He's taking another bite. I can't exactly see much of what Gus is doing at the moment.
Very strange. At first, I was thinking definitely the Big Jack. But then that signature Macca's flavor hit me. And I was like, if Hungry Jacks have managed to capture the signature flavor that well, I'd be very surprised. So I'm going to say that this is a Big Mac. Don't know if I'm even holding it in front of the camera, but I'm going to say that's the Big Mac.
How are you going to find out which one is which?
Because, well, I'll know from the look. I can recognize a McDonald's bun from a Hungry Jack's bun.
Okay. Really reliable source here.
Now I'm trying to get the other burger out.
Have you lost the second burger?
Okay, this is the second burger. Yeah, look, it's got less divots in the bun. And I wasn't expecting divots in the McDonald's bun, but now I'm assuming that this is the Hungry Jack's one. But if I bite into it and it just tastes exactly the same, that's going to throw me off so much, because not only will I not be able to decide which one is which, I also won't be able to say which one is better if they both taste the same.
That's a very good point.
Here we go.
Amazing chewing sounds as Gus bites into the second burger. This is disgusting. This is absolutely disgusting. How the hell do we have a podcast?
That signature McDonald's flavor is there again.
It's the special sauce, and they've copied it. Duh.
Okay. It was. Yeah, but there's a signature Macca's flavor that is separate to the special sauce. Like, you bite into a cheeseburger or anything from McDonald's, it's just got something to it where you're like, yeah, that's Macca's.
Obviously, I don't eat Macca's enough.
This has the special sauce flavor, but I'm saying it's missing that Macca's zest. So I'm going to say, yep, this is the Hungry Jack's Big Jack. I'm going to take another bite. I just need to...
Do we need another bite's worth of content?
I need to decide which one's better as well, okay?
Okay.
Alright. Opening my eyes. Holy shit.
If they look identical, we're
f***ed. Okay, no, they do not.
Okay.
Holding them both side by side. This is definitely the Big Jack, which I identified as the Big Mac. This is the Big Mac, which I identified as the Big Jack.
Perfect.
The Big Mac, which was actually the Big Jack, which I thought was better, is indeed the Big Jack. The Big Jack is the winner, but also, yeah, I got them mixed up. Didn't know which was which. Guess I gave Macca's too much credit, and Hungry Jack's actually did a better job at McDonald's on their own fucking burger. That's amazing.
So is the result that the Big Jack is better than its
The
copy?
Big Jack is the resounding winner here. Like, it was
God.
not even, like, yeah, I was having trouble identifying which was which, but there was no question as to which one was the better one. The Big Jack is the winner by a mile.
Well, congratulations, Hungry Jacks.
And that, I guess, proves the statement. The burgers really are better.
This is not sponsored content.
It's not. But did you know, fun fact, the Hungry Jack's slogan used to actually be, the burgers are bigger at Hungry Jack's.
I had no clue.
And then they changed it to the burgers are better when they couldn't be making their burgers bigger, I guess. I don't know. But they used to have
God.
their entire ad campaign was, it takes 2 hands to hold a Whopper.
I see you ordered a Whopper too. Guess you'd agree it takes 2 hands, eh? I mean, with everything that Hungry Jack's put into it, delicious beef, ketchup, pickles, onions, lettuce, tomatoes and mayonnaise. Wouldn't you just have to agree then that it takes 2 hands to handle a Whopper?
All right, I agree. So what?
So could you just take your elbow off my hand? It takes 2 hands to handle a Whopper, the two-twister burger at Hungry Jack's.
And it's like, nah, I could hold one with one hand, to be honest. But maybe it used to be bigger. I don't know. That's
Maybe.
from like the 70s, so who knows?
A few weeks ago, Gus, we were sprouting the fact that we have started using our TikTok again.
We have. We are, because we're now in video form, excluding last week, of course, and any future Zac Ups Gus in case. Actually,
We can record future ones, but obviously the
Yeah.
last one was pre-recorded before videos.
But yeah, we are a much more clippable show now, so we are taking advantage of the social pipes, the TikTok and the Instagram Reels, and yeah. What did you have to say about this, Zach?
So we asked people to contact us to DM us on TikTok. I don't think you can DM someone on TikTok, but luckily someone has hit us up in the comments, Gus. I don't know if you've seen this one.
I definitely have not.
Okay, so I'm going to blur their username. Someone commented on the TikTok about our sneeze dab, the snab.
Yeah.
Snab. That's comedy genius. Guys, invite me
Actually,
on your invite me on your podcast and I'll tell you about the time I did whippets out of my friend Leon's crack. Whippets for everyone are nangs.
I did see this, actually. I saw this, and then I checked out the guy's profile, and I watched his videos, and I was like, this guy is literally insane.
Now, obviously we're not going to have him on for an entire guest episode, but I really kind of want to know this dude's story about his friend Leon's crack.
It is an interesting story. I mean, how do you come to be... I don't even understand how you do nangs out of someone's crack. Like,
It's not exactly something you... Like, I understand snorting off someone's crack, but
for
doing
our
nangs...
if we have any non-Australian viewers / listeners, nangs are nitrous oxide canisters that are used to make whipped cream, but teenagers also use them to get high for like 30 seconds.
I think a lot of the world would know them as cream chargers as well.
Yeah. Or
So-
I think America actually calls them whippets. Yeah.
So the consensus is, do we contact this guy and do we get him on the podcast in future weeks? Because I kind of want to hear his story.
I'm curious. I am curious, but I'm also terrified of this individual.
We can do it with our cameras off on the Zoom call,
Yeah.
so he can't see us, and we'll pre-record it.
I just want to ask: have you watched the videos on his profile?
No, but I did watch I did like see a few, and I was like, okay, this dude's a bit. I didn't watch them, but I saw the thumbnails, and I was like, this dude's a bit weird.
Yeah, I watched every video on his profile, and I was like, I never want any sort of contact with this person in my life.
So we're not contacting him?
I'm happy to do it for show content, but just I mean, yeah, genuinely, I want to hear the story. but I feel like we should do it as a pre-recorded segment. I don't want to do it live on the show.
No, I completely understand that. So,
because I
kicked
feel
in,
like
we-
it's something from how I've judged this man's character, which, I mean, don't judge a book by its cover, but for the cover of the book that I have judged, I would not be optimistic that it will not go terribly wrong.
yeah, okay. So we can guarantee we'll contact this person to try and get an interview with them. We cannot guarantee that we'll get an interview with them, and we certainly cannot guarantee that that interview will make it to the podcast.
That's all correct on my side, Zach. Now, you're probably wondering what the next thing on our planning document is about, because
I am very confused as to why you've written egg on the planning document.
it just says egg. And now let me lift this up. I'm lifting it up for the audience right now. Zach cannot see it. Now I'm going to show it to Zach.
Why is there an egg in your water? That's not meant to be funny. Why is there an egg in your water? What's so funny about this?
Zach, I'm gonna keep holding it up for the viewers while I talk about this.
You want to talk about a glass of water that's got an egg in it. For the audio listeners, Angus has literally got a glass of water that appears to have an egg in it.
Well, I need to compose myself before I start talking.
What have we come to? Like, it's an egg in water. I don't know what has happened.
I broke myself with the egg in the water. Okay, now everyone's probably...
Yes, we're all wondering.
Everyone is probably wanting a good explanation.
Egg explanation.
What the f*** I was just losing my shit over, and I hate to tell you. I mean, Zach, how would you rate the hilarity there? Like, how f***ing funny I found that on a scale of...
On a scale of 1 to 10, it was definitely like a 13. But what it should be was a 1 out of 10. If anyone went to a comedy show and the comedian's first thing was water egg, no one would find it funny.
I was talking to my friends about that. I was like, when stand-up comedy comes back, I'm just gonna go to a f***ing open mic and walk on stage and get a cup and an egg and pour some water in it and just walk away.
That's not
Okay, I feel like some explanation is needed, even though any
Please.
explanation that I give is not gonna help my case in terms of how funny I found this.
No,
So,
not at all.
I was with a friend and they put a cup in front of me that had an egg in water because I think they were boiling the egg or something. I don't know. They put an egg in a cup in water and they placed it in front of me. And I just lost my shit. I laughed for like half an hour at least. I ran out of the room, went to their bedroom, came back, lost my shit again, ran out of the room again, and for the rest of the day, whenever anyone brought up the egg in the cup, I just couldn't stop laughing. And I don't honestly understand what about it is funny to me, because usually, like, I find I have a pretty obscene, weird sense of humor, but I wouldn't have ever thought before that just egg in cup would set me off. But egg in
cup is not funny at all. I don't even understand how this is podcast content. Saw an egg in a cup and I laughed.
Look, I have to say that I have not laughed harder this year than from egg in cup. It is
It's not even anything remotely funny.
by far the funniest thing I've seen this year. And I just brought it to the podcast because I want to ask the viewers, A, Do you find Egg and Cup hilarious? Because I just want to know if
No,
it's some,
nobody's going to find it
maybe
funny.
it's some
not
weird
funny.
genetic shit that's like coded into some people's brains. Because I don't know why I found it funny, but I just found it hilarious. And B, if you didn't find Egg and Cup funny, is there anything in your life where you've ever just laughed your head off and you have no fucking idea why? Hit us up, Zac and Gus Show @gmail.com or Zac and Gus on Instagram. That is generally all I had to say about that, but I found this fucking hilarious.
It's not funny at all. If anyone finds Egg and Cup funny, I really want you to rethink your life purposes.
I have rethunk my life so much since this happened, Zach, but I cannot find any logical conclusion as to why I found this hilarious, and whenever I see it, I still find it hilarious. So what can you do? What can a man do apart from bring it before his audience? That's all I can do.
Be normal. I think that's what you can do. So, Gus, coronavirus, we're in the middle of it. We, as a show, trying to avoid blatantly discussing it, but sometimes things pop up that you really cannot ignore. You have to.
That is true. I mean, yeah, as a show, I feel like everyone hears about coronavirus enough. Like, it's like Dan Andrews is doing press conferences every day. You don't need to hear any of this from us, unless when it's like a bunch of people ordering chicken from KFC, and that was pretty funny, and we talked about it. So what about coronavirus do you have to bring up today, Zach?
Now, I don't want to shit on our political leaders, but some of them have got some whack rules. I want to bring to attention Queensland's coronavirus restrictions.
Okay.
So,
sure.
one of the things that is not
Thought you were
allowed-
throwing old Dan under the bus, and I
No,
was
I would-
gonna.
I
You
would
would never.
never.
We would never. We would
We
never.
would never.
We support
But
Dan Andrews on this
Anastasia
show.
Palaszczuk, you're in the firing line because dancing at weddings, that's banned. But do you know what is not banned?
What?
Sex parties, as long as there are under 10 people. That's
I love how they have a specific rule about sex parties.
so I don't know how dancing at a wedding is less likely to contract you coronavirus, but being nude and fucking 9 other people is completely allowed.
Another thing on the subject of coronavirus in Queensland, did you see that shit where they just had a rave in a kebab shop?
Yes, I did.
But
And, it
like
was
the
like,
kebab shop had clearly organized it.
and they were like posting videos of it to their own
Yeah.
social media.
And it was literally just like it was a club, but it was a kebab shop. It was like I looked at that and I was like, that is the most Queensland shit. You take away their clubs and they will do anything they can in order to keep their lifestyle going.
I wanted to bring into attention a particular quote from someone interviewed for this article by the ABC. The irony is, if I was invited to a wedding this weekend to attend with my girlfriend, and I wanted to dance with her there, I wouldn't be allowed to. But if we decided to go to a sex club and swap partners with some people we don't know who they are or where they're from, that's okay.
Yeah, seems pretty normal to me. I'm not that surprised.
It's just a bit weird, don't you think?
Yeah, but it's the Queensland government. Who the fuck's getting married in Queensland? Queensland's culture is built on fucking strangers. So, like, obviously that's what they're gonna prioritize.
Over weddings, so more strangers can
I mean, all you have to do... I went to Brisbane in 2018. I only lived there for 2 months. And I realized how different the culture is there to here. I mean, it's insane. Clubs up there, so many people, that is just their life. And yeah, I guess that exists down here and in any other state, but not to the extent that it is up there. The clubbing culture up there is just insane. So, and the fucking random people culture as well. So yeah, it's weird, but it's like kind of it's their own little weird. So, you know.
That's all I've really got to say. I just wanted to bring it to your attention that you're allowed to go to swingers parties, but you're not allowed to dance at a wedding.
I mean, at least they're limiting it to 10 people, because I'm sure there have been plenty of swingers parties in Queensland that have had at least 10 times that amount involved.
100%. Are you saying you've been to a swingers party with 100 people?
No. I'm just saying that Queensland is such a freak state that there's no way that a regular swingers party up there would only have 10 people at it.
That's a good point.
Okay.
This is a content warning, as the following content discusses Gus's STDs. Please skip to 33 minutes and 58 seconds if you don't want to hear this content.
My penis has...
We promised you dick content, and you're getting dick content.
Did we do that?
Yeah, well, because you said you dropped some of the Big Mac / Big Jack on your dick, and I was like, well, there's more dick content coming later.
I really need to pee again, but I guess I'll last till the end of the show. Okay. My penis, my balls were mainly discussed on the show before, and
we love some free ball content.
I said I'd give an update if anything ever changed in result to my balls, because I got the ultrasound, it was all okay. Nothing has changed in terms of my balls, but I just want to say, as a podcast, Zach, we endorse sexual health.
100%. All health a lot, but of course, sexual health too.
I just want to say, as a sub point to that, use a fucking dinger. Just do. Just fucking crack one of the old doms out, because if not, you'll end up in a shit situation. Now, I am saying this as someone who has never in my life worn a condom during sex.
This is not something you should be promoting, Angus. I feel like people do not want that image of you. I do not want that image of you.
I'm not promoting not wearing a condom during sex. In fact, I'm promoting quite the opposite. As I led into this by saying, wear a fucking dinger, the only reason that I am saying that is because Gus didn't wear a fucking dinger, and now Gus has gonorrhea.
Good one, Gus.
So, if you don't... And I always just said, nah, it'll never happen to me, blah, blah, blah. That fucking fake narrative.
Of course it was going to
feed
happen to you if you've never worn one.
That bullshit that you feed yourself, though, when something hasn't happened to you and you're like, oh, I always have the mentality that I will... Whenever people warn me about something, I'm just like, oh, nah. I'll start taking it seriously when it happens. And look, guys, it fucking happened. And if you do not... I don't want to go into too explicit detail, but if you don't want to have to wear pads... I'm currently wearing...
I've heard the full story from it. It's disgusting.
Female hygiene products right now because it is necessary. If you don't want to have to do that, but also if you don't... Zach, you'd be very aware of morning wood.
I know what a boner is.
Yeah. So my morning wood now wakes me up because it is so painful.
Oh,
that's
irritating.
And it without fail comes every morning. I get morning wood and I wake up like I'm being repeatedly punched in the penis. And I cannot get that feeling to go away until I sit up and I have to wait for the boner to go down, and then before I can go back to sleep. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go into any more detail than that, but just wear a fucking condom, because I had always had that stupid view in my head that, oh, I don't wear one because it feels better, and it'll never happen to me. It did. Just fucking be safe, people, and that's all I have to say about that.
I just realised we probably should have put a content warning there at the start, so this is a note for me in post to go and put a content warning. We talk about Angus's STDs.
Cool.
Sweet. Now, from your penis to the Bible.
That's quite a contrast indeed.
If you look at the spectrum of things in the world, your penis and the Bible are on two complete opposite ends.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Bible doesn't usually contain yellow liquid.
That's
bleep.
Oh Oh god.
Bleep. Alright, yeah, the Bible, God.
I don't think I can. Okay. Good news, it's not the Christian Bible. I'm not talking about a Bible of religious sorts.
I wasn't even aware there were... Oh, yeah, there are other Bibles. A Bible is sort of just a collection of information about something, isn't it?
Correct. And I have some great news, Gus. I am starting on a journey to record information from every single Zac and Gus audio ever.
We're going to get our own Bible?
Yeah, so really the listeners will never even get to see it. But essentially it's going to be, so if we ever reference something, I can always open the Bible and go, yeah, that happened on episode 11.
So it's just like Zac and Gus lore in a book.
Lore and key things that happened. So if you go, oh, did we ever promise this? I can go
Control F, blah,
F,
blah, blah, yeah.
blah, 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 and search the Zac and Gus Bible.
I do like this idea. This is a phantasmagorical idea, Zach.
Sweet. So that's all I wanted to say regarding the Bible. Zac and Gus is getting its own Bible.
Okay. I really need to pee, Zach. Can I go pee?
Okay, go pee.
Okay, so Pauline Hanson.
Australia's most lovable redhead, yes.
Sure. What is she most known for? I mean, I guess she's most known for being racist.
A racist politician, yes.
Okay, so essentially,
Are we going into politics again? Because we really don't suit politics.
Not real. I mean, sort of. I guess talking about anything that a politician does is technically talking politics. But I just think this has to be brought up because I know a lot of people would have missed it. And I just think... Ooh. Okay, so essentially, Pauline Hanson publicly in the media was talking down on people...
I know exactly where you're going.
She was talking down on people in public housing and saying that they're alcoholics, lowlives, all that shit. And then she personally mailed stubby holders to the public housing towers that are under lockdown in Melbourne. And I just wanted to... I mean, we have no platform. It's not really throwing her under the bus because barely anyone's going to hear this. But flip Pauline Hanson, that is a scummy and disgusting thing to do.
And what is also really kind of rude is a lot of these people were Muslims, so they don't drink because of their religion.
Yeah.
And on the other side of the stubby holder, it says, I've got the guts to say what you're thinking. Like, no. You can't.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't really have that much to say about it, just as someone who... I mean, I'm not fucking rich. I'm on the public housing register list. I could be living in one of those fucking towers. So I just really wanted to throw her under the bus and say, fucking scummy move, and honestly, just why? Like, how can you do something like that and think it's gonna put you in a good light? Like, what did she think she was achieving? I don't think her aim was
to put her in a good light. I think her aim was to rub salt into them and hope that she wouldn't be picked up on it.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously you're gonna get picked up on that. I mean, you're literally sending stubby holders.
For anyone who isn't aware, it got turned around by the Melbourne City Council, and they were like, "We're not allowing you to send this." Even though Australia Post was like, "No, we have to send this as it was mailed."
Yeah, you know it's
council.
Flipped. You know it's flipped when the council stops the post from fucking going through. But yeah, I just see, I don't have that much to comment on. It just makes my blood boil.
It's an infuriating thing for someone to show that much lack of care.
Yeah. But I mean, that's Pauline Hanson in a nutshell. So if you didn't have a shit opinion of her before, even if you just had a neutral opinion, then now you have reason to hate her. So maybe we've made 3 extra people hate Pauline Hanson, and I think that's worthwhile.
I reckon that's a good spending of our time, but do you reckon it's time to close another book and Zac and Gus talk about politics?
Absolutely.
The show really does start on a high, and then it just is a vertical slope down, because, Angus, I've got not much to say here. I just wanted to quickly call out, we've had a few issues trying to contact international listeners before on the show. We had first French dude who turned out to be a bot.
Yep.
We had Raj, the Indian, who was trying to send us to America, but he was actually from Geelong.
Disappointing.
But now I've got an update that we kind of can't turn down. We have...
Is someone else? Is there another Indian trying to fly us out to America?
No. We have almost 10% of all of our listeners coming from America.
What? That's a very high percentage.
I know. So, Americans, sure, some of you might be robots, but there's got to be at least one American that listens to this episode. If you are an American, please contact us. We will get you on the show. If you don't want to be on the show, we won't get you on the show.
Literally, you have no other we don't expect you to be interesting, funny, have anything to bring. Literally, your geographical location is the one factor that we require.
And if anyone else is listening from anywhere else in the world, we would love to build up some international correspondence. So if you're from anywhere else in the world, chuck us a message, zacandgusshow@gmail.com, or Zac and Gus on any social media platform. Contact us. We would love to get you on and be an international correspondent for the Zac and Gus podcast.
Let's get this shit global.
Please.
Was that all you had to say about that, Zach?
That's all I had to say.
Capital letters. I have a vendetta against capital letters. It rhymes.
Now you shat on me for
That means
having a
it's
vendetta
true.
against the letter N.
Zach, your vendetta against the letter N was a bunch of bullshit. I'm gonna say it right now. You're like, oh, shape of letter, blah blah blah. Anyway, look, the point is, most people are probably gonna think this is bullshit, and in fact, I think this is probably gonna piss a fair few people off, because generally, I mean, I like grammar. I'm sure you like grammar too, Zach.
I love grammar, and I love my grandma.
I like words to be spelt correctly. I like apostrophes to be put in the same, in the right place. I like people to use the right there, or there. But
I agree. I'm in the exact same boat.
Do not text with capital letters. And you will know that if you know me.
Capitalization is off on my entire phone.
If I send
So we're on the same board here.
Yes. We're not arguing over this. But if I send you a text, there will never be a capital letter in it. And yes, I recognize the fact that is grammatically incorrect, because an I or a name or, many things should technically be capitalized. But when I'm texting, I'm sure you'll agree, Zach, it's a chilled vibe.
Exactly. And it fits an aesthetic to not use capital letters.
Yeah, it's a very chill aesthetic. And when I see someone putting... honestly, when I see entire grammatical correctness in text, it's just like... It has this whole thing of, it looks like you're putting too much effort in. It's like...
I do agree. And it kind of portrays a mood of you're not happy and chill.
Yeah.
You're angry or aggravated or sad.
If I'm putting out like a public statement, or obviously if you're writing an essay or any like official shit, it would be absolutely ridiculous not to use proper capitalization. But I think if you're talking to your friends, there's absolutely no need to do it, because what is your friend your teacher? Are they going to mark you down on your texting ability? No. So just be chill. Turn those fucking capitals off. Like, god damn it.
That's been a very boring and not interesting at all public service announcement.
But
from
no,
the team at
the
Zac
main
and Gus.
reason that I brought this up is because someone did comment on the reel about
Oh
our
yeah, I
logo.
saw this.
And this person, I do know them. They may be...
You're one of your best friends.
They are definitely one of my best friends, but they asked us to capitalize the letters in our logo, and I didn't even reply to it because it's just like, it's not happening.
Neither.
It's not.
And
It's not.
I don't want to be rude to your friend, but a massive fuck off to that idea. Not
Yeah,
a massive fuck off
it's,
to you, but a massive fuck off to that idea.
The logo, it has no requirement to be grammatically correct. It is a branding thing. It's not. Yeah. It's just. It's not happening. Anyway, this is a really low point to wrap the show up on.
I feel like I would rather listen to the backup episode.
Still, I reckon my letter content was better than Zach's letter content. Hit us up at Zac and
I
Gus on
disagree.
Instagram or Zac and Gus Show at gmail.com. Let us know whose letter content you liked best. But apart from that, guys, I reckon we'll see you next week. That brings us to the end of another Zac and Gus episode.
You can like us on Facebook, Zac and Gus.
You can follow us on Instagram at Zac and Gus.
And you can contact this show anytime by emailing zacandgusshow@gmail.com.
Make sure you hit subscribe, and we'll see you next week.